Today I'm going to go over why The Lion King 1994 is my favourite movie. Leo Chase for Mythmaster here, and I hope you enjoy this video. The main categories I will be covering are songs, visuals and score, actors, character relationships, and finally, villains. These sections should be timestamped, if my future self remembers it. If not, comment I'm surrounded by idiots, or life's not fair, and I should get round to it. There are 5 songs in The Lion King, and they are Circle of Life, I Just Can't Wait to Be King, Be Prepared, Hakuna Matata, and Can You Feel the Love Tonight. To some extent, you could just listen to and watch these songs and get a fairly good idea of what's happening in the story. Minus, Mufasa's death, which may be one of the most iconic in movie history. Sorry, Bambi's mum, you're irrelevant compared to the King of Pride Rock. The Circle of Life is a beautiful piece and accompanies one of the most iconic movie openings. I Just Can't Wait to Be King is a musical bop. Be Prepared is the best villain song ever. Hakuna Matata is a tonal shift. And Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Well, you can tell from the look on Nala's face what the song's about, but in all seriousness, it's a very good song. I would say that the two standouts are Circle of Life and Be Prepared, with the former filling you with a sense of awe and wonder and being referenced in Doctor Who, and the latter sending a delightful shiver down your spine. The combination of the vocal performances and instruments truly is magical. And the sound isn't the only thing that makes the songs iconic. The visuals and use of colours throughout the movie is incredible. The opening sequence of the movie with the sunrise and hundreds of animals is unforgettable. The vibrant colours in I Just Can't Wait to Be King express Simba's excitement, while the greens and yellows of Be Prepared show the envy, jealousy and greed of Scar, which later turns into the reds and oranges of anger. Plus, Scar is nearly always shown standing in the shadows, with the key example being when he tells Simba about the elephant's graveyard. And outside of the songs, the score is incredible. Think of the wildebeest stampede or the climax of the movie, and in the joint most heartwarming and heartbreaking scene of the film, when Mufasa is talking to Simba after the elephant's graveyard, leading to a crescendo of father and son playing in the grass with no idea what's in store for them. The same music then repeats when Simba sees and talks to Mufasa in the stars. If you're still watching this, that means you're probably enjoying it, which means you might enjoy my other content, so please consider hitting like and or subscribe, and maybe checking out my rest of my channel as well. But speaking of Mufasa, that brings us onto our next category, actors. Well, there are many well-known actors here, and the actors don't always determine the quality of the movie. For me, there are 3 key actors who really make the movie what it is. The first is the late James Earl Jones, who is probably most well known for being the voice of Darth Vader. His deep, rich voice is perfect for the regal king, whom he portrays in The Lion King. He was one of the few people, maybe the only one, they brought back for the so-called live-action movie, and apparently they actually reused quite a lot of his audio from the first movie. Next is Mufasa's brother Scar, who is a perfect example of why us Brits make some of the best villains, being portrayed by Jeremy Irons. He really pulls off Scar's wit and almost narcissistic personality, as well as displaying his hatred for his family. Fun fact, did you know that Jeremy Irons didn't actually sing all of Scar's lines in Be Prepared, because he apparently tore his voice box when he belted out, "You won't get a sniff without me." The final actor of note is another Brit who goes toe-to-toe verbally with Scar on several occasions, and that is Rowan Atkinson, who plays Zazu. Despite loving Mr. Bean and Johnny English, I never realised that Rowan Atkinson played the royal advisor until a few years ago, and I now cannot unhear it. My favourite parts of his are probably in I Just Can't Wait to Be King, where he's understandably frustrated by Nala's and Simba's actions, and is just trying to do his job, and ends up being kidnapped by monkeys and flattened by a rhinoceros. The characters feel real, as much as animated talking animals loosely based on Shakespearean characters can. They all fall into well-defined character types. Mufasa is the wise king and Simba's father. Scar is the jealous, power-hungry uncle. Simba is the naive main character who goes through a journey of self-discovery. Nala is his childhood best friend and romantic interest. Timon and Pumbaa the humorous sidekicks, and Zazu the king's loyal advisor. Outside of those guys, the only named characters are Sarabi, Shenzi, Bonsai, and Ed, if I'm correct. And also Rafiki. The best relationship is that of Mufasa and Simba, with Mufasa being behind every choice Simba makes. He goes to the elephant graveyard to be brave like his father, and to impress Nala maybe, so not entirely because of Mufasa. He waits in the gorge because Scar says Mufasa has a surprise for him, and so on, with his father appearing to him, being the thing that finally convinces Simba to return to Pride Rock. Plus, we see how much Mufasa cares for his son, teaching him life lessons, being stern yet kind, and eventually risking his life to save Simba's. The other main relationship is Simba and Nala's. As children, they are best friends who work together to nearly murder the royal advisor. I just want to say yes, I do feel sorry for Zazu if I hadn't made it clear. And the two of them have a healthy competition, with Nala always managing to pin Simba, and Simba showing off to her by taking her to the elephant's graveyard. I wasn't sure how to phrase this part, but basically, the next time we see them together significantly is when they reunite. Nala gives us some exposition and catches Simba up on what he's missed, and then the two of them go and have some special time in the amazing song Can You Feel the Love Tonight, which manages to mix childish friendship and play with romance, reflecting where they were at and where they are going. Plus, in this song, we get some internal dialogue, which flows perfectly with the song, and perhaps harkens back to Shakespeare's soliloquies. Other shout-outs go to Timon and Pumbaa as a duo, Scar's and Zazu's hatred for each other, Scar and the hyenas, and of course, how Scar hates Mufasa, and Mufasa doesn't seem to notice. Did you know that the original reason for Nala leaving the Pride Lands was going to be because Scar wanted to make her his queen, if I'll put it that way? It's no wonder that they cut that. And speaking of horrible things, I'm a stickler for a good villain, and The Lion King has my favourite repertoire. But before we get on to the head honcho, I'd like to talk about the dastardly trio of Shenzi, Bonsai, and Ed, who are renamed to Shenzi, Kamari, and Azizi in the live action, as another fun fact. In the original, they are unique and memorable, and their motivations make sense. They want to have food, obviously, and Scar's promised them lots of food, as well as a way to get rid of Mufasa, the main thing holding them back. One thing I would say is I love how they incorporated the fact that hyenas sound like they're laughing into it, with them cracking jokes to each other, while also being completely terrifying to Simba, Nala, Zazu, and 3-year-old me. One thing I never really understood about the 2019 version was why they decided to make it so Scar and the hyenas didn't already know each other, because it makes Be Prepared even flatter than it already was in the 2019 version, with it being turned from a friend telling his other friends how they're going to achieve something they all want in a brilliant, but at some parts questionable, display of Scar's personality, to a lion singing to a tribe of basically identical creatures who would obviously love to kill him, apart from the fact it turns out they have a common goal. The fact that they are already friends, well, as close as Scar can get to having friends, makes it even worse for Scar when he turns on them, doing what he does best by lying and twisting the truth to save his own hide, when in reality him doing so is what leads to his downfall. It's a great example of a villain being defeated by their fatal flaw, and is one of the reasons Scar is such a great villain. The other reasons are that he is sassy, witty, and extremely clever. Even if he didn't fully think through his plan, he technically achieved his goals without anyone suspecting a thing. His arrogance just made him think that his plan was flawless. He also has the honor of speaking the first lines of the movie, and having some fantastic quotes. At the start of the movie, neither Simba nor Scar understand what it means to be king, and almost ironically, it's Scar's actions and obviously Mufasa's wisdom which lead to Simba bringing peace, freedom, justice, and security to his new empire. Sorry, wrong movie. In my opinion, some of the best qualities for a villain are to be irredeemable, manipulative, a seemingly unbeatable threat who wins, be it permanent or not. They should use their cunning and powers to form plans which the heroes must grow and evolve to beat. And I think that Scar ticks all of the boxes. Plus, having a great British actor doesn't hurt. Thanks for watching, and once again, consider liking and subscribing, and please comment your favourite childhood movie. Another movie from my childhood, which is just as powerful, is the DreamWorks movie Prince of Egypt. I haven't watched it in ages, but the River Lullaby always squeezes at my soul whenever I hear it. I both hate it and love it when movies and songs do that. Well, not hate, but you know what I mean. It's Been a Long Time is another example of a song which does that. I'm listening to it while typing this, in fact, hence why I'm mentioning it. I don't know when I'll be posting this, but some potential videos to look out for are giving Pokemon teams to my superhero team, the Phoenix Champions, and book reviews of some of the disturbingly dark book series I read as a child. Plus, some other ones I might do are a review of Gotham Season 1, which might already be out, but I don't think, as in the review, but I don't think it will be, and pitting Hawkeye against every MCU villain. Hakuna Matata, and ta-ta.